What's up, Palm Tree? You are now tuned into another episode of Palmcast. It's your boy Chillin' Dylan, Jesus of SoundCloud, Black Tom Anderson, and your favorite rapper still owes me money. I got a talented dude who is not afraid to shred, not afraid to be himself, and this cat has put out so much music in the last few years. And we've known each other for a while, but we haven't seen each other in a while. My man, Blvck Svnd, good to have you on Palmcast, dog.
Fuck yeah.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. So the new project you just put out, 626, it really just resonated with me and spoke to my soul, dog. Because we come from the same area, bro. We come from basically the same hood. Yeah.
Damn near.
So you grew up in Eagle Rock, as we were just talking about, and I grew up in Mount Washington, which is like the hills that sit above Eagle Rock. Yeah, we grew up around the same area, but for those who are not from LA County, 626 is the neighborhood for the San Gabriel Valley, and that was the namesake of the project. So break it on down, bro. Like, what does this project mean to you?
This project means a lot to me because I feel like I'm opening up about a lot of shit that I've been through in the music industry, you know what I'm saying? Because as a dark-skinned black person and as a black person, navigating the music industry is a very hard thing. So, like, I'm opening up about a lot of shit I've been through and just, like, a lot of my repressed angers on this project, I would say.
You know what? I just love how the sound transitions from the beginning, you know, from you coming in with hardcore metal and it's like you just want to headbang till your head falls off your neck. Then, you know, as it transitions on and on, you go to hardcore, and you know the middle point is like how low can a punk get, and then from there it's like, you know, then you get back on your rap shit. So I think it's really well structured how you lay that all out.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Now, one thing I did notice, and you gotta notice if you grow up around where we grow up, well, first of all, 626, you know, has a special place in my heart because I lived in Pasadena for years. You know, I went to Waverly, so you know, Pasadena always has a special place in my heart. But you got songs on there like South Ass, which is the opening track. That's crazy, you know, because it would be what would be crazier if someone was talking that crazy to you and they were from South Pasadena.
Right.
Like, if you guys don't know about South Pasadena, that's the burbs. That's the city where Project X, the movie from, I think, 2012 or 2011 was based at. But yeah, tell me about that track, you know.
Oh yeah, and then
that
to add some more history to South Pasadena, it actually used to be a sundown town. So
really,
yeah,
I actually did. I knew that about Glendale, but I didn't know that about Dena.
Yeah, South Pass.
There's a lot of black folks in Dena.
Yeah, in Pasadena, but South Pass in particular, was a sundown town. So and it was funny because I had made that song because of some dude I used to go to high school with. He like was a white boy who grew up in South Pass, you know what I'm saying? And like he like was trying to act hard and he was trying to tell me he was finna pull up on me and all this type of stuff. And he was just like this like corny ass little like drug dealer. But he ain't really a real trapper because, you know, he wasn't really like moving nothing. But he was just like the type of like white boy trapper that like sells to other like rich white kids, and then like he feels like he needs to ride around with a gun. And,
the
like,
vanilla plug.
Yeah, literally the vanilla plug. And then he
thinking to be hard, and you're from South Pasadena.
Yeah.
See, I'm glad that's based on a true story because like truth is stranger than fiction, bro. That shit sound like Ludacris, no area codes.
Yeah, right.
Shit.
Yeah. So.
Then the next track you had on there, the one that takes namesake for where you've been staying, Monrovia. Yeah, but you call it Monrovier.
Yep.
Yeah. Talk about that. Like, why you flip the name?
It's called a Monrovier because Monrovia is a very conservative town with a lot of Trump supporters. So it kind of reminds me of the South. So I'm like, you know, Monrovier.
Monrovier. Okay.
So that's why I called it that. And then just like that house, I feel like that I've been living at for these past 10 years has like a lot has happened in my music career. So like that's why in the song I say going down memory lane is so nasty because like at that particular house, like a lot of shit happened. You know what I'm saying? It's like where I first really started to make beats and my production started to like be bought, and then as where like I made Go to the Stores, where I made all my big songs at. So like, you know, just that memory lane is kind of is like Monrovia for me. You know
right.
what I'm
and then going forward in the album, like songs like Cedar Ave and then Peck, those are streets, major streets in the SGV. So like break it on down, like when you hit Cedar Ave, like what goes through your mind?
That's where my girlfriend lives. So I literally just drive down that street to drop her off a lot. So I'm just like that song was just like, and we talk about, like, me and my girlfriend talk about like a lot of shit like that has to do with people, and like, cause you know what I'm saying, I have ADHD and I'm pretty sure I'm on the spectrum. So you know what I'm saying. So I deal with a lot of like shit with social interactions and stuff like that, and like not getting certain social cues. So a lot of our conversations are about that when I go to that street. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I called it that, because you know what I'm saying, like pretty much the lyrics in that song is like I don't have anything to say, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you don't stand on your word, like people are fake, people are just lame, like, you know, that's why I called it that.
Right. Now, growing up, I know both of us being, you know, eccentric brothers and, you know, at many times in our lives, the only black kids around. What was it like for you? You know, as you've said in previous interviews, you've always been in the dark shit, like the horror movies and metal and all of these things. Like, how did the people around you respond to that?
They hated me because a lot of people like Mexicans and white people, and like in particular, they like to gatekeep like their shit that they're into, you know what I'm saying, and their interests.
Thank you.
So it's like they seen a black kid doing it, you know what I'm saying, and they hated that shit, and they hated me for it. And then other black people, when I'll be around, because when I was in high school and middle school, I played in an orchestra called the Inner City Youth Orchestra of LA.
Right, I remember hearing that.
Yeah, and I used to actually come over here every Sunday, so like I would hang out with, like, you know, that was my chance to be around the black community.
Over here at Leimert?
Yeah, well, not Leimert Park, but kind of like by Fox Hills Mall.
Okay.
Yeah, so fucking I'll be over here every week, so I was around black people, and then when I would come with like my death metal shirts and like my shit, and I'd be talking about my shit, they'd be like, "Oh, you hella weird and you're so crazy." Everybody said I was fucking crazy my whole life. You know what?
When I first had my metal phase, dog, I was holding on to hip hop for dear life. Mm-hmm. Like, it was just one of those things when I went off to middle school, because this was around the time, I'm a little older than you, but this is around the time that like G Unit was popping, and then like Swisher House was popping too. So, you know, showed up to private school with the Property of Mike Jones shirt. Yeah. You know, kids were like, "Oh, are you Mike Jones, bitch?" Like, what? So then I'd never really been around that many kids who listen to metal, and luckily there were a couple black kids who, you know, they rock like Slipknot and Korn like you got on, but it was mostly white kids. So I just wasn't aware of that. And at first I tried to be like, "Nah, this shit is whack. This shit's weird." Like Green Day, nah, that's weird. But on the low, like, okay, yeah, I'm bumping that D4L Laffy Taffy and that Grills and all that ringtone rap, but on the low, I was like trying to fuck with Green Day, trying to fuck with Slipknot. Then I got into Disturbed, and then once I saw Howard Jones and Killswitch Engage, I was like, oh, for sure.
The GOAT.
And yeah, as well as, you know, my man from Seven Dust.
LaJohn Witherspoon.
LaJohn Witherspoon, thank you. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I knew it was that. I just didn't want to get him confused with rest in peace John Witherspoon from Friday. And Boondocks. Yeah. For sure. Okay, so, well, you've dropped 3 projects this year altogether, so you've been really busy. Tell me, like, what's your inspiration like, you know, as you continue to put out this high volume of music?
I just listen to music every fucking day. Like, there's not a day where I don't listen to any music, so it's like I'm literally like trying to find a new band or find a new thing or a new like album or new project, a new song every day. So there's me trying to look for music. That's what always keeps me inspired. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, there's experiencing life. You know what I'm saying? That keeps me inspired too. You know,
I feel that. Yeah, I was watching. I think it was your interview with Mass Gorilla. Shout out to Roger. I think it was maybe that interview or another one where you said like to stay inspired, you gotta go outside. So like outside of just, you know, when you know how we are when we listen to our music, that is it. But like, what's the backdrop to like, you know, get a new Blvck Svnd song going in your mind?
Like, what you mean?
Like, what type of environment do you like to be in to feel the most creative, to come up with something new?
In my room. Yeah, like, because I make most of my music in my room, so pretty much I feel the most inspired at home, especially since COVID happened, because I had to, like, get into that mindset of being at home and being inspired at home, so I'm kind of just stuck in that now.
Right, okay. So Antius and Inner Being were the last 2 projects you dropped this year. So you've been on a roll. What visuals can we expect coming off of 626?
I'm doing a video for Monrovier, so
sure. In Monrovia?
No, not in Monrovia.
Really?
But I did it in LA. But.
Because honestly, sometimes when I go to Monrovia, I just feel like such a peaceful feeling. I don't know if it's because I go to church over there, or it's just, you know, it's just a clean city, and it's, you know, we obviously have different perspectives on it, but yeah, I just feel like it's like a more chill version of Pasadena.
It's pretty chill, but it gets kind of weird like at night, and in certain areas it gets kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
it's quaint, but it does have its like it's quaint yet quirky.
Yeah, quaint and quirky.
Okay, for sure. Now, I kind of just realized I didn't know you're only 23, 24?
I'm 24.
24. Okay, when are you turning the big quarter?
I turn 25 November 19th.
Okay, so Scorpio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize, you know, that you were that much younger than me, because I feel like that's why we never bumped into each other growing up. But, you know, I used to see you at the Ham on Everything shows and probably at, like, Left Method functions. Shout out to Adam and Romo. Shout out to my boy Oso.
I was really fucking young when I was doing those shows. I was literally, like, fresh out of high school, like 18, 19, doing all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was, like, way older than me, you know?
Yeah. You know, and you fit right in, so I didn't even realize that you were, like, mad younger than me. But no, that's dope, though. A couple of cats I used to see you run with, and for the record, people, this is around 2016, 17, 18, I think. Yeah, but a couple of the dudes I used to see you at those shows with would be like Gizmo and Quaise. Thank you. So, do you still keep in contact with them? Are you still working with those guys?
Not really.
But
I wish them the best.
Right. Y'all were mad tight, if I recalled it. Like, what? Can you tell us what happened?
It just gets to a certain point when like you're a grown man and other people are living certain lifestyles. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Quaise and Gizmo, they have their very certain lifestyle that they live. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're womanizers. They want to go out every day. They want to get drunk. They want to get fucked up. They want to do drugs. But then I'm the responsible one that doesn't do drugs. You know what I'm saying? I smoke weed, but I never was really into coke or pills and shit. And I used to drink a little bit, but like I just really wasn't like, I just never really got fucked up like that. But anyway, so it just was, we were living two different lifestyles. And then like I was the one that was paying for my studio. I was the one that was paying for my own shit, paying for my Ubers, paying for my all my own shit, like as a fucking grown man supposed to. And Quaise expected me to take care of him, you know what I'm saying, and help him out because he was out here living homeless, you know what I'm saying, and he was out here like living with different hoes and just living like that type of lifestyle. And I just wasn't like, you know what I'm saying, it just didn't work, you know what I'm saying. He was really mad at me because of just this one particular night that I didn't let him sleep in my studio because I had to go home and take a shower, and I told him that I was going to be like right back, you know what I'm saying? Like I just had to go home and then I was going to come right back to the studio. But he was just mad and just was, you know, so pretty much just entitlement and people being entitled to like what I have and being entitled to my shit and thinking that like that I have like help from people. Like they was like, oh, well, your dad pays for everything. I'm like, no, my dad doesn't pay for everything. Like my parents don't. Like I'm really out here grinding and like paying for my own shit, paying for my own fucking studio, paying for my own computer, all my own plugins, all my own shit, and nobody's helping me and giving me no money, but you expect me to take care of a grown man? That's just kind of goofy. You feel me? Yeah.
Well, props to you for like, you know, holding down your own and being a man of character and handling your stuff, bro, because, you know, Lord knows if you would have like fallen into the, you know, the drugs and the partying and just not being responsible. And you being a younger dude, honestly, that's a good call, like, of your wisdom. Yeah.
In the chamber, exits to your dome. We some serpents slithering in your home. Stuck out in and out, steady breaking bones. Don't try to save, don't reach for your phone. Everyday robber, call me on my other song. Been a G since a young and now I'm fucking grown. We some underground demons unknown. Not forget we exist, no we ain't in the phone. See a dome, you alone. Every day, getting paid, fuck I say. Hit the ash in the motherfucking ashtray. Still got in, I fuck around and find out. We don't play, nobody there, we went in upgrade. Now that I'm say before we let it spray. We gon' let it spray your body, gon' be stone cold just like how they play. In the back, got my motherfucking Chevrolet. Today was your motherfucking last day.
Another thing about growing up, your parents are still together, right?
Yeah, for
okay,
sure.
Dope, yeah. Actually, this Friday, my mom and dad are celebrating 39 years of marriage.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so, you know, we really don't see that much, you know, especially in the black community. But you know, do you think growing up with, you know, were your folks encouraging of you being creative and out there?
For sure, because my dad's a musician. He used to rap, and then my mom's an artist, so they was already creative.
Your mom's
anyway.
a visual artist?
A visual artist, yeah.
Nice.
She's really, really great, like super fine art, like, you know what I'm saying? She's really good. And yeah, my parents were really encouraging when I was growing up. Like they always told me to stay creative, and they were the ones that was taking me to guitar lessons when I was like 7 years old, and taking me to drum lessons when I was young. And like my mom would be the one that would be taking me to Iceola and all around fucking LA, playing shows and playing little shit. So they've always been encouraging, you know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty grateful for that.
Excellent. What was the first concert you went to?
The first big concert I ever went to was Prince in 2011.
Really?
When he did that, I don't know if y'all remember when he did the shows at the Forum, and he did for like $30 tickets.
I remember.
In like 2010 or 2011, and that was like the first like big concert that I went to, and it was fucking insanity.
Well, I'll tell you a story about Prince. Palm Tree, you may or may not know this yet. But my dad's from Minneapolis originally. Actually, both my parents grew up out there. And, my dad and Prince grew up together, went to elementary school.
Damn.
Yeah, and Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis are still two of his good friends to this day. I work with Alexander O'Neal, that whole Minnesota scene. So
that's super sick, bro.
And another thing we got in common with, like, artistic mothers, shout out to the moms. Another thing we have in common is that, like, your mom's an artist, my mom's an art teacher.
Nice.
So, yeah.
That's sick.
Well, sometimes listening to you and seeing your aesthetic just reminds me of, like, I know you might get this comparison a lot, but Bad Brains.
I love Bad Brains.
Hell yeah. So, okay, so they inspired you. I remember another interview you said on the totally opposite end of the spectrum. You said another artist who inspired you is Suga Free.
Oh, for sure.
Break it on down, man. How that pimp from Pomona inspired Blvck Svnd?
Because he's a Mac. You feel me? Like, you got to be a Mac. Like, you know, you got to fucking know what's up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because hoes be trying to run games. Especially on somebody like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, hoes be trying to run games, so you just gotta, like, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm not misogynistic or believe in fucking, like, sex trafficking or any of that, but I'm more so into being clean, into using your brain, into dressing nice, into taking care of yourself, because I don't know what's up with, like, you know, young black men now, but a lot of niggas be dusty, and I'm not fucking with that.
Absolutely not. So, nah. And you see, being a black man, it is so important that you be on point. You know, how you dress, how you speak. Are you a man of your character, your career? All of these things that we have to build together. Because as you said on one of the songs off 626, as black men, we got to work twice as hard. Now, hearing that message is such a message that we are told in our homes. But hearing it on a metal track was so dope, man.
Hell yeah.
And, you know, all the things that you and I learned from, like, you know, growing up, like learning from Slipknot and, you know, a lot of this 626 album reminded me of their first project, actually.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, you know, the things we heard from Slipknot and Disturbed, like, you know, we remember those lyrics, but those aren't those lessons. And I think, you know, I just hope there's some kid growing up listening to this shit, like, to hear that lesson, you know?
Me too.
The song High Bright, when you say you are white and you don't care. And that was really like the white privilege diss. It was like the ether to white privilege. Tell me about that one, man. Like, who the fuck got under your skin, you know, and just made you want to get in the booth and lay that shit down?
Well, I mean, the punk scene in LA, like I'm sorry, but I don't really fuck with the punk scene in LA because it's really whitewashed and it's really like Mexican and white dominated. And I was trying to throw a show at this venue called the Church of Fun in East Hollywood, and they was just giving me, it's some punk shit and fucking. And it was actually some gutter punk shit, but anyway, they were just giving me a lot of trouble, like not responding, like saying that they're gonna do this, and then they're not doing it, and just giving me the runaround. And then my girlfriend, she's like obviously light skinned, and they was being all friendly with her, and they was like being so nice to her, and like they fucking were in love with her. And fucking, I had a conversation with one of the people that ran the venue, and I was like, yo, like, I don't understand, like, why are you guys, like, treating me like I don't exist and, like, ignoring me, but then you guys are all over my girlfriend's dick, like, inviting her to y'all's house without me, and, like, doing all this weird shit behind my back. And I was just like, I felt like I was getting discriminated against because I'm darker and and my girlfriend's light skinned and they was fucking with a more light skinned person, which has always happened in my life. And I just was telling them about that, and it was a white girl, so obviously she doesn't fucking understand. And she was like saying all this bullshit, like, oh, we don't owe you a friendship, and you're being this, and you're being obviously being oversensitive, and all this bullshit, and just like, you know what I'm saying? So
it's always like they're ducking the question. They're always like swerving around the racism like a traffic cone, you know?
Literally.
Yeah, that's, it's very fucked up. I'm sad you had to go through that, but, at least it manifested into some dope music, you know?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. A message for, like, that people could actually, like, relate to, you know what I'm saying? Because I can't relate to, like, to a lot of Korn lyrics or Slipknot lyrics or, like, you know what I'm saying?
Even sing them all day. It's the only thing.
Right.
I push my fingers into.
To me, Corey don't be talking about shit. But, like,
it's just timeless,
It's just timeless, but as far as, like, my lyrics, I want my shit to be, like, useful. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. A few more songs as we go through the project. I want to know about The Grind, because in that one, if I'm not mistaken, that's the one where you're singing about how, like, somebody won't even answer the call from their own family because they're on the grind. Can you talk about that? Yeah,
for sure. I've been having a lot of issues with my older brother. He doesn't really, like, talk to me. And, like, I don't really have a good relationship with my brothers. Like, they don't really, like, talk to me and, like, really fuck with me like that. You
really?
know what I'm saying?
Do they do music or do the arts at all?
My older brother's a tattoo artist. That's why I have so many fucking tattoos. And then my little brother, he's a basketball player. You know what I'm saying? But they're very materialistic. Like, they love, like, the new cars, the new, like, shoes, the new
hype
beast type shit.
You're the middle child, so you're the black sheep.
I'm the black sheep, so I never give a fuck about that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So we just don't really get along, and, like, my brother hasn't really been talking to, like, the whole family. He's kind of been ignoring everybody. So that's what that song was inspired by. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just, like, being in, like, those type of situations, and then when you really analyze it, it's because, they're on the grind, or they're trying to get this material thing, and they're just kind of just blocking everything out. So that was the inspiration behind that song.
Interesting. Yeah, because when I was listening, it never crossed my mind that you'd be singing about a family member in that song. I thought it would be, in my mind, I just thought it would be like, this is probably somebody he did music with, and they wouldn't answer the phone.
It could be. I mean, it could, like,
this is my interpretation. But.
And that's the beautiful thing about lyrics, is that it could be interpreted, and you could. That's what I tell people. I'm like, you can interpret my lyrics any type of way, and if you relate to it and it relates to a certain situation in your life, then that's what the lyrics mean. You know what I'm saying? Because I just write my shit, obviously, from a personal standpoint. But if you can relate to it and it's a different situation in your life, that's what you relate to, then you know what I'm saying, I fuck with that.
And Bruno Love just hit me with this music video. The song is called Times Get Rough. It is produced by Merc and mixed and recorded by Sauce Factory LA and KC the Sauce. All right. With a little star noise. Okay. Got some Thoughtalicious in the front. Hold up, for Times Getting Rough, man, it looked like niggas rolling. Got the hose and the Porsche parked outside. Here we go. Busting down a bird and I'm acting all the packs. Money on my mind, packs ain't enough. Gotta play for the juice, only 8's enough. Okay. 8's in the baby bottle. Sour Patch Kids. But it ain't enough. When the times get rough, fuck the money if you love me. Fuck the money if you love me, honey. Homie, run it up. Got money on my mind. Oh, okay. My nigga got the money and the hose. Facts. Now, you briefly spoke on the punk scene in LA, which you're not really feeling at this time.
Yeah.
Have you traveled anywhere else or performed anywhere else that had, a doper punk scene?
I performed in Seattle. I performed in Arizona. I performed in New York. I performed in Belgium. I performed in Paris.
Whoa. Okay, so you've been overseas.
I've been overseas. Yeah, Paris was the best place ever. Cause in different countries they have a respect for music, like, you know what I'm saying, like they don't like, I've never ever seen a fucking an actual intermission at a show. Like, this is an underground rap show, and like there's literally was 15 minutes where nobody talked and nobody did anything, and everybody just stood there and just was chilling. You know, I want to, they was obviously talking, but they was like chilling and waiting for me to come back, you know what I'm saying, to perform.
Dope, okay.
And it was like so
everybody could regroup, because not everybody wants to stand on their feet or like be that close with each other. So we need to start doing that here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a whole different type of respect. So they was really fucking with me. They was jumping. They was like super engaged. They was going fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then,
how long ago was this one?
I did that in 2020, like right before the pandemic.
Wow.
Like literally like 2 months before the pandemic.
So that was a life-changing experience, obviously.
For sure.
And then you come back home, and then there's this whole global pandemic. That must have blown your mind, dog.
It was fucked, because I was literally finna go to Spain that year too to go perform, but then it had to get canceled. Yeah,
man. But you kept on dropping music. You've been very consistent, you know, over the years. Tell me, who are some of the artists you would want to collab with, either on a mainstream level, like a dream level first, and then like at a like peer level?
A lot of people I want to collab with aren't alive. Like, to be honest, like, I like a lot of dead people. I don't know.
Okay, so if you could get on a song with a hologram, no, I'm just playing.
Yeah. Imagine. Nah, but fucking, I mean, I don't know, like, as far as like people that like are near me, I mean, I've tried to collab with them. You know what I'm saying? I've literally tried. Like, I fuck with NASCAR. Like, I've tried to collab with them since like 2019, but you know, he doesn't answer the phone.
I can see you doing something fire with Jaleel.
Yeah, I don't really like Jaleel's music, but I fuck with his whole like marketing shit. But
I met him when he opened for Spider Gang, and that was October 2021. Go watch the vlog. It's on this channel. More peers. I wanted to know if you were hip to this brother. I've had him on an interview before. Breezy Supreme.
Yeah, I know Breezy.
Yeah. Because I could see y'all doing something very dope together.
He didn't want to collab with me either.
Really, bro?
I sent him an open. I sent him a pop punk open, and he said my shit was sloppy and all this type of stuff. So
damn, that hurts, because, you know, I want to see all of us shine, bro. I want to see all, you know, I'm rooting for everybody black, but especially us weird black kids, bro. We got to fucking dominate and look out for each other, man. Because here at Palm and at Thickness Protection Program, but mostly Palm, because this is where it started, I'm about everybody coming together, like bringing together, uniting people, just doing the damn thing.
But the thing is about the black community is that there's a lot of jealousy and a lot of envy within the black community.
But even within punk and that being a predominantly white space.
Yes, and the only black people that are in this space, they don't like me. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to work with me. They don't want to do shows. So I just kind of stay in my own corner and do my own shit. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to collab with Zulu. I wanted to collab with Breezy. I wanted to collab with all these people. Like, I did a show. I did a show in 2021 with Zulu, Soul Glow, Wacko. It was called Back to Black Fest. It was pretty sick. And fuck, it was actually right down the street, right at the Barbara Morrison Center. And that shit was fire. And like, you know what I'm saying? We wanted to come together and maybe do like a tour of all those type of shows, but it just never really came to fruition, because it was a lot of disrespect and a lot of just like old shit from the past that just wasn't addressed, and it was just a lot of weirdness. You know what I'm saying?
I'm disappointed. I'll tell you, I'm disappointed that that's been the experience, but I'm also optimistic, because I feel like, you know, I fuck with you, so like I feel like we're gonna, you know,
for sure,
keep on grinding, make it happen. This definitely won't be the last conversation.
No, for sure.
Okay, so collabs haven't really came together as much. I'm actually kind of glad that 626, you just chose to make it solo 100%, and you do all the production on it. Yeah. So you for the instrumentation, do you do that like with real drums and guitars?
I do it all live.
Wow, so, all live. Okay. So tell me how that works, being a one-man band.
Let's do it, we get into it. Old school retro play, I brand new it. I ran through it. Give me something I could jam to it.
Well, I always record the guitar first, and then I lay down my riffs, and I like do my tempo changes, and I do everything that I wanted to go, because I kind of have a very like when I songwrite, I have like an imagination and like see where the song's going and like the direction is going, and like, oh, I'm gonna put a breakdown here, I'm gonna have a tempo change here, I'm gonna have a bridge here, I'm gonna have an open chord part here, I'm gonna have a chugga chugga riff here. So it's like that's how I write my riffs, and then I have the bass line, and I like record my drums, and then I do the vocals last.
Okay, so there's a whole process to it, and then like, what program do you use to layer everything?
I use Ableton.
Ableton, for sure. I don't really know much about like the music making softwares, you know, but shout out to Ableton.
Shout out to Ableton, because everybody's on FL's dick.
No doubt. Okay. The song Mafia Boys off the project, that's a banger. I like how that kind of takes the Memphis sound. And some haters might say, oh, that's a Suicide Boys type beat. Well, I still love Suicide Boys. But like sometimes I notice people reuse these types of sounds, especially like the Memphis 90s horrorcore era shit. But you came off clean on that. Like, tell me, what was your vision on that song Mafia Boys?
I just wanted to just give love to Lord Infamous, because I feel like nobody shows him the respect that he deserves, because to me, I think he was one of the first people to ever do that type of triplet flow that everybody's so influenced by now. And like, I seen an interview with Migos, and like Offset was like, oh, we started that, and I just thought that was so ignorant, because I was like, he was doing this fucking 15 years before you ever even thought about doing it. So it's just kind of stupid. But anyway, I just wanted to show love to Lord Infamous and just make some just hard shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, I feel that. Yeah. Then you got the one Hello on the album, which is a banger.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's when we see you live, everybody got to pull out their phone like,
hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hell yeah. That one was funny because like I remember that was actually, I sampled the fucking like Android like fucking ringtone, and I would always hear that shit, and I would always want to sample it. Yeah. And then I never knew what the fuck it was, but then I finally figured out what it was, and I was like, I'm gonna make the song out of it finally. Yeah.
Another joint you should sample is that old I forget if it's Singular Wireless from back in the day. Like the T-Mobile. Because for real, you know who came to mind when I was listening to Hello? Rob Banks.
Yeah.
Because, his whole two-phone shawty thing. Yeah, and you being a Raider Clan head, I know you're familiar.
Hell yeah.
With that whole wave. Now, bro, collectives have kind of died off, man. You don't really see, like, big crews no more because people keep falling out. Like, tell me, how does that make you feel? I mean, you've played in bands, but, like, have you ever been part of a collective? And like,
I was in Midnight Society for a second.
Right, Midnight Society, yeah. Yeah, that was, who was else in that? Maxwell's and Foreign Forest?
Foreign Forest, Kamiata, Fuck It, Bambi,
Johnny G,
KP. There was a bunch of people, but I mean, I'm not really surprised because collectives are just like kind of like the leaders thing, and everybody's kind of just like obviously like really focused on like the leaders and the people like the biggest artists, and it seems like a lot of people that actually do the real work, and the people that actually get the shows, and the people that actually make the beats, and the people that actually mix and master the songs, they don't get the credit that they deserve. So it just makes sense that people just be like, well, fuck this. Like, why am I going to be up under somebody because they have more followers than me, or they have more monthly listeners than me? Like, that doesn't mean that you're more talented than me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the reason why that's why it didn't work out with the collective with Midnight Society, because I had made that song No Witness, and then it was just like, it was never no like appreciation for me making that beat and recording 15 people like in one night, like, you know what I'm saying?
Because I remember way back at that show in 2017, you had to be there. Young Gravy and Baby No Money performed too.
Yeah,
and I had just interviewed Young Gravy. It was only a written one, but that dude popped off something crazy.
Yeah, because it was like that. It was that one.
Yeah,
song.
It was an Eagle Rock at Hidden Gems.
Yeah, I remember. That was the first. That was like my first show where I was like in my first underground rap show. No, actually, that wasn't my first underground rap show, but that was like, I would say that's when I first had dropped Black God 3. Like, I had Black God 3 was out for like a week or some shit.
And I fuck with how you got the Black Ops series too.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Good tie-in. What video games you fuck with? Obviously Black Ops, but
I don't. That's pretty much it. I don't really play a lot of video
Oh,
games.
really?
Yeah.
It threw me off. Not even Guitar Hero and Rock Band back then.
I play a real guitar.
That poser shit, that poser ass Activision shit. Yeah, Dylan probably plays that shit. Bro, we had all those stupid plastic instruments. I mean, they were stupid at the time. It was a fun game.
Shit, that shit made me play guitar. When Guitar Hero 2 came out, it was like 2006 or 2007.
I got hip to a lot of great rock songs through those games.
For sure.
Video games, for real, exposed me to a lot of music. But,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But those games in particular, they definitely put me on to like Metallica and fucking Rage Against the Machine because those bands, for me, like those bands were really significant to me when I was first, getting into like whatever metal and shit because it was really accessible, but it was still pretty heavy. Like I remember like the first song I heard, which was the first Metallica song was like the one part where it does a double bass. It's like that was the first time I ever heard fucking double bass in my life, and that shit just blew my mind. You know what I'm saying? So like those games definitely like shaped my music taste and honestly shaped a lot of people's music taste. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think that a lot of kids and a lot of people are into this whole like new metal revival, kind of like early 2000s like emo revival right now because of like those games and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I think it's because of the same time when the emo shit was coming about, that whole MySpace wave. I mean, you had on one level you got My Chemical Romance and Fall Out Boy and She Wants Revenge, AFI and such, and then on the other hand you have, like I said, the ringtone rap, the D4L, Dim Franchise Boys, and who all that.
But then on the other side, like the heavier side, which was like Bring Me the Horizon, Suicide Silence, Asking Alexandria. It was just a time of like music was just really like dope in the early 2000s.
See, those I had never really gotten into. I went to Knotfest in 2021 and Bring Me the Horizon opened for them. But yeah, I had never listened to that band before that. But they put on a pretty good show.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah. What's the best show you've ever been to?
The Prince show.
The first concert you've ever been to was the best concert.
On everything. Like,
there's nothing topping Prince, honestly.
Like, how the fuck is he for the top Prince?
Yeah.
Like, this fool played bass, guitar, and drums during the show.
Right.
Like, killed it. Like, this man was the best performer I've ever seen. He had to do like 7 encores. I swear to God.
Unbelievable.
They would not let this man leave the stage. Like, he'll be like, "Oh, everybody, goodbye, everybody," and then everybody was like, "Come back, come back, come back!" And he did Purple Rain like 3 times.
Unbelievable.
Like that was the best show ever. He had the craziest band, like, and fucking Esperanza Spalding opened up for him. You know who that is?
Yes, I do.
Fuck yeah. And if y'all don't know who she is, look her up because she's a amazing bassist and she's a great musician.
Shout out Esperanza.
So like she opened up and she had an all-female band, which I thought was so cool.
That's amazing.
And I just remember it was this drummer. She was a dyke and she like a hard ass stud, but she was like killing the drums and she was like she had the chops and I was just like it was just amazing. Bro.
Yeah, for an aspiring musician, that's that's the show you gotta see.
That's the show you have to see. So I'm so fucking grateful I was able to witness that.
Dope.
You know what I'm saying? Because he pretty much died not too long after that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you think? Well, Prince passed in 2016, and when was that show again?
Like 2011. So it was like 5 years after that. It wasn't that much.
Time is
longer.
short, man.
Time is short.
Life is short.
On everything.
Okay. Well, you have 3 projects out this year. 626 is the most recent. What else is next for Blvck Svnd?
Well, I got this video coming out pretty soon, so that's next, and just expect more music. You know,
are you gonna do any shows or any like? I
want to do a show, but I just have to put it together. It's honestly really hard to put together a show like yourself, you know. And I kind of like I wouldn't say put myself in a bad place, but I put myself like in a place to where I can't really get like exploited by promoters no more. You know what I'm saying? Especially out here. Because a lot of promoters, like a lot of those shows that I did with Hammer on Everything, they was not paying me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
so they were just like, here, you'll get exposure. We'll put you in front of a crowd.
Exactly. And I'm pretty sure the most amount of money that Hammer on Everything paid me was like $50 to do the show. So yeah, like
damn,
it's pretty fucked up. So
it's almost like you can't believe that, but like also being in that position where you're a media company and you're wearing multiple hats. Like at the time they had a podcast. I think they might have had a radio show either. So that's like they're trying to do too much. And I've been in that position too, where there's artists you really fuck with, and it's like, yo, me doing from where I sit as like the journalist and the blogger, I can't be able to pay you. I'd like to, but like, you know, but at the same time though, it's like, hey, money talks. And if it's like, sometimes you got to tell the homies, like the homies got to be Klarna, like, okay, I give this month, this month I'll pay you.
Because if they could pay Xavier Wolf, they could pay me. You know what I'm saying? They could pay these like quote unquote bigger artists. They could pay me because I'm like, and then especially like, it's like it's really fucking annoying because it's like it's only in my hometown. Like I've gotten paid way more going other places than in my own hometown.
That's the thing, man, about being an independent artist is like your hometown is the last place that's gonna really fuck with you.
Yeah, like it's so weird, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, all right, Blvck Svnd. Well, hey, man, it was a pleasure.
Hell yeah.
Finally got to chop it up. And definitely stay connected. Hey, let them know where they can follow you, stream all your music.
You can stream me on every platform. I'm on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, fucking everything. Blvc Svnd. Same shit on all platforms. And, yeah, listen to me.
Sure enough. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This has been another episode of Palmcast. You can check us out at Palm Official on YouTube. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, ChillinDylan323. PrettyAwesomeLitMusic.com. We'll be back soon. Thank you guys for being patient. And until next time, Blvck Svnd. Thank you for coming through. And peace, love, Palm.